nonsense because it could be the most comfortable situation in the world. Personally, I can't stand it if my soul isn't feeling good. Oh, that boat is wonderful. We're going to spend a week there. God forbid a wonderful boat with people we don't identify with. What might seem like paradise to me is hell. Oh, but we're going on a beautiful trip. All expenses paid. And what do I pay to be there emotionally? And there are people who subject themselves to this. They spent the weekend just read here to show off, just to maintain their own shell and that of others. And then the emptiness of the heart naturally happens. We become hollow inside because life is so outward, and so little inward, that we end up losing our own inner joy. So overcoming all this so that life is worth it requires daily reflection, requires a daily exercise of identifying where are we really exercising ourselves. I'm talking about myself too, of course, but I'm sure you, in different instances, experience the same conflict I do. You also notice the social hollowness, the anthropological hollowness all around you, or even within you, because that has been a characteristic of our times. We are increasingly empty. We are disinclined towards content. We are very fond of brief speeches. And with that, we are causing a terrible human loss. We're empty, we're foolish, we're superficial, we're trivial. And this triviality, this superficiality, has caused a terrible social loss. And that's why we need to keep emphasizing this. If we don't change the way we educate our children, instilling values in them from an early age, we shouldn't expect change. If I skip the toll booth to avoid paying, and if I'm enjoying it like everyone else who pays, I have no right to open my mouth to talk about corruption in Brasilia. If I'm not honest in my working relationship with my employee, if I deprive him of his rights, if I'm not fair to those who work with me in compensation, I have no right to speak. Of the thieves who loot stores, who feel entitled to break everything. So it's a chain. I don't want to be left out of this reflection. You know why? Because the hollow world is also in me. God forbid I keep making moralistic speeches, putting myself outside of history. No. I also have to manage the dangers of frivolity daily. Or do you think I'm immune? I'm not. I reflect all the time on how I choose to be who I am, to be who I can be, And if we don't rid ourselves of the complacency that makes us crazy, foolish, superficial, and unable to transform realities, we lose the joy of life. Because what's good, what makes us feel alive, is precisely when we realize that we contribute to a process. And over time, we start giving up wanting to change the world, When we're younger, we have all those dreams. That thing, I'm going to be a revolutionary. Until the day you discover that you can't change much. Okay, but then where can I? And you start acting in the space that suits you. For example, by pulling people out of this victim mentality, I can't maintain the victims. That poor person, eternally pitiful, who doesn't even want to work, who we have to carry on our backs forever. I'm not obligated. Oh, but Father, what about charity? Charity, my daughter, is opening the eyes of the other so that they go get their share. Sometimes charity is putting the other in their place. Enough. I'm not your automatic debit. How many of us within our homes represent this? We stopped being people a long time ago. The other only sees us as an automatic debit. There's nothing crueler than that. You even lose the pleasure of helping because the other only sees you as an ATM where they go, enter a PIN, and take what they want from you. Sometimes we maintain these relationships because we lack the courage to break the victimhood that is within us, that is in the other. I learned a lot of this from life. Sometimes the victim is maintained by me, who insist on helping, and don't realize that sometimes the best way to help is to wake them up, say no once in a while, so that they start living again. This life is too beautiful to be wasted with dishonesty, or for me to be forever a poor victim, always justified by the difficult past I had. There are so many stories inside me that would give me the right to say, wow, come on, Father Fabio, poor thing, what a difficult life. No. We continue tomorrow in the next video. Complete conference links in the description.